The history of Israel is filled with brave warriors and heroes, some of whom have become iconic figures known to all those who have read the Bible. Figures like Joshua, recognized for his expertise in battle, Samson, who with his own hands defeated a lion, and David, who despite being a young shepherd, managed to defeat the giant Goliath with a simple sling. But beyond these widely recognized personalities, there are other heroes whose stories are less known but equally significant. Benaiah is one of those less mentioned warriors, but no less important. In fact, his feats are just as remarkable. Benaiah not only shared moments of glory on the battlefield but also played a crucial role in the court of King David. He became the commander of David's personal guard, a position of great trust. But perhaps his most intriguing act was when he took on the responsibility of ending the life of Joab, one of David's most distinguished generals and the main commander of David's army. This mission demonstrated his loyalty and commitment to justice and the kingdom. What is even more surprising about Benaiah's story is his lineage. Despite being a fierce and astute warrior, he came from the tribe of Levi. In biblical tradition, the Levites are primarily known for their priestly role, being the mediators between God and the people of Israel. Indeed, Benaiah's father, Jehoiada, was a priest descended from Aaron and leader of the priests, as mentioned in the first book of Chronicles. The name Benaiah itself, which can be translated as Yahweh builds, speaks of a deep faith in divine intervention and construction. Although it was a common name at that time, especially among the Levites, it is relevant to note that in the pages of the Bible, we find another 12 men with the same name. The life of Benaiah is an example that in biblical history, every character, whether widely recognized or not, has valuable lessons to offer. Understanding the life and contributions of these individuals allows us to have a more complete view of the rich history contained in the sacred Bible. Therefore, it is essential to delve deeper and learn about figures like Benaiah to fully appreciate the development of the biblical narrative and the teachings that these stories can offer. So if you are interested in discovering more fascinating stories like this one, do not forget to subscribe and activate notifications to stay informed. The history of Israel, with its countless battles and military strategies, also highlights the presence of outstanding warriors, brave men who defended their lands and beliefs with fervor. Benaiah, a name that may not be the most recognized by many, was one of these prominent individuals in Israelite history. Not only was he a warrior, but he also proved to be a capable and dedicated leader. Originally from Pirathon in the land of Ephraim, Benaiah was a pillar in the army of David, the king of Israel. He was not just a simple soldier but one of David's mighty men, a title given only to those who had demonstrated exceptional skills on the battlefield. His bravery and competence earned him the position of commander of an impressive troop of 24,000 men. In addition, he was entrusted with national affairs, taking responsibility for them in the 10th month of each year, indicating the high degree of trust David had in him. The first book of Chronicles in its 11th chapter delves into Benaiah's incredible feats, and it is easy to see why this man earned a reputation for bravery. One episode recounts how he faced and defeated two Moabite warriors, whom the Bible describes with a Hebrew term that, although ambiguous in meaning, many experts believe these warriors were known as lions, suggesting they were feared and skilled soldiers. In another astounding account, on a snowy day, Benaiah faced and defeated a real lion in a pit. Here, it is essential to understand the symbolism of the lion, considered a representation of strength and power. The feat not only demonstrates his bravery but also his skill, as he faced this fierce animal in the most difficult and unfavorable circumstances, in a pit and during a snowfall. Benaiah also had an encounter with an Egyptian giant who was over 2.2 meters tall. Despite being at a disadvantage, as he only had a staff while his enemy was armed with a huge spear, Benaiah once again demonstrated his cunning by disarming the Egyptian of his weapon and defeating him. But beyond his feats in battle, Benaiah also proved to be an exceptional leader. Starting as a leader of a group of 30 men, he quickly rose through the ranks of the army, eventually leading the special groups known as the Cherethites and Pelethites, who many believe were special forces tasked with protecting King David. Subsequently, in recognition of his dedication and skills, he was promoted to third in command, leading 24,000 soldiers and managing national affairs during the third month of each year. This ability to combine martial skills with leadership qualities demonstrates Benaiah's versatility and dedication. In every chapter of his life, he proved to be not only a fierce warrior but also a loyal leader, committed to David's cause and the welfare of the kingdom of Israel. His story is a testament to courage, strategy, and unwavering dedication. Benaiah's loyalty to David is a story that deserves to be told in detail. Despite the political storms and conspiracies that shook the kingdom of Israel, Benaiah showed unbreakable fidelity to his king, David. When plans were made in the shadows for Adonijah to become the new king of Israel, Benaiah did not hesitate for a second. He stood firm, did not partake in the Game of Thrones, and supported the decision to crown Solomon as the true successor. After this act of betrayal by Adonijah, many who had been key figures in Israel, like Joab, the commander of the Israeli forces, lost power and influence. And it was Benaiah, now following Solomon's orders, who ended the life of Joab when the latter sought asylum at the sacred altar. After this event, Benaiah took the reins of the Israeli army, and in a further display of his loyalty to the legitimate monarchy, carried out the executions of Adonijah and Shimei. All these decisions and actions were not just out of personal loyalty but to ensure the stability of the kingdom under Solomon's rule. Benaiah's life is more than a tale of loyalty and bravery. It is curious how, despite being predestined to serve as a priest, Benaiah emerged as a formidable warrior. While there are records of priests in the Bible who became prophets, like Jeremiah, Benaiah stands out as a rarity, the priest-turned-soldier. His divine mission was not just to be an intermediary between God and the people, but to act as a defender to ensure the Davidic line of succession, which would be crucial for the coming of Jesus Christ. With Solomon on the throne, who would later build the iconic Temple of Jerusalem, Benaiah is consecrated as a living example of how one can serve with devotion, courage, and commitment in the divine mission. Though our lives may not be filled with epic confrontations or battles against lions, like Benaiah, each one of us is called to show a similar level of dedication and bravery in our own spiritual paths. It is fascinating how in the New Testament, believers are described not only as spiritual priests but also as valiant soldiers in the service of God. If you are not familiar with this inspiring story of Benaiah in the scriptures, I hope this account has enriched your biblical knowledge. And if you liked it, subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Until next time, and may God bless you.